Some of you will not like me. Some of you will not like what I have to say about happiness. Some might say, well, he really didn't answer anything. And then others will say, you know what? He really just told me what I already knew, but I needed to hear again. I needed to be reminded of. And that is these material things, these things that we work so hard to buy, they're not going to bring us happiness. They may make you happy for a few moments, but I promise you, it's going to fade quick.
Yeah, my wife says that what did she say? My bite is worse than my bark? No, that my bark is much worse than my bite. I'm like, don't be saying that. I got a reputation, girl. Got a reputation as a cruel dude. No, but I do like, I guess it's a man thing, we like to come off like we're tougher than we really are, and just a regular dude. I'm scared of the same things that most people are scared of. Well, maybe not entirely. I mean, I do fly paramotor and ride electric unicycles fast without a helmet. Not that I'm encouraging that, because it's quite stupid, actually.
So happiness doesn't come from stuff. It comes from moments, huh? Finding the happiness in moments. What does that mean? Does that mean like finding the good in everything around us? Does that mean like looking at the bright side all the time? I don't know, kinda, maybe. Again, I'm not here to give you all the answers. George is not a therapist. George is a very flawed and getting older every day nurse who's made a lot of mistakes. I am a middle-aged male nurse. I have failed at marriages. I have failed at businesses. I have failed in parenting. How many of you have what many would consider a really good life? But still, you don't entirely feel satisfied. You're not entirely happy. That is happiness. That is the definition of happiness. Moments, presence. Do we have an happiness meter? Are you wearing your happiness gauge? It seems that one of my favorite sayings this day is, there is a lesson in everything that we do. And I really believe that to be true, because it doesn't matter if it's a good experience or if it's a bad experience. You learn something, you take something away from it, and that's value. We all have different backgrounds, different upbringings. We're all surrounded by different things. So we all have a little bit of a different take on life and happiness. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be the same for everybody. As a matter of fact, it shouldn't be. I haven't always had all the answers. I still don't. I am a failed parent. That failure was initiated when I fathered a child at only 19 years of age myself. This kid grew up to be an amazing man, but it wasn't because of me. It was because his grandparents stepped in and took him on as a son of their own and raised him. So this boy's name is Matthew. And Matthew's sacrifice, growing up without me, without a real father to guide him and do all the things that a father is supposed to do, Because he made that sacrifice and allowed me to grow up and learn some lessons, he enabled me to become a good father. And that's what I am today. I'm an outstanding father to my two other children. I also have a 19-year-old girl and a 21-year-old boy, and they are beautiful and amazing and smart. And I have a wonderful relationship with these children. And I'm so thankful for it. And I'm so thankful for them. And I'm so thankful and glad that I was able to be a good dad to them. And I still am today. What makes me such a good dad? Presence. I have been present for these children every step of the way, through hardships, through mistakes. I'm not married to their mother. I haven't been married to their mother in like over 13 years, but it doesn't matter. Every step of the way I was present. I always tried to maintain a civil relationship with their mom, and I have to this day. And this astonishes people. My wife, my current wife, the last wife I'll ever have, she tells her friends about how I can go to my kids' house, and they live with their mom, who I'm divorced from for like 13 years, and I can go to their house and just hang out, not for the purpose of my wife, but my children. This is my children's home. I have a civil relationship with their mom. I can chat it up with their mom. I can talk to my ex about our kids, and it's not weird. It's a little bit weird, but it's okay. And moreover, what's more is that my wife can talk to my ex, and they're almost kind of buddy about, they'll talk about the kids, they'll talk about me, they'll talk about plants, they're into horticulture. So people think it's weird that we're able to do this, it's civil between us. I'm not going to say we're all best friends and we hang out all the time. We don't, but it's civil. And there's no drama, and it's not like crazy. And I don't know, I guess that's unusual. I guess it's saying a lot, but I'm thankful for it. I think my kids are better for it. So Matthew, if you see this video, I want to thank you. Thank you for your sacrifice. And I'm sorry that I couldn't do more for you in the day. Every day. I'm sorry I was absent. I'm sorry I was not present. I know that being present is everything. Just being there. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to have all the money. You don't have to have anything other than a genuine desire to be there and to actually care for another person. To actually love this other person more than you might even love yourself. I want you to know that I did love you, but I felt inadequate. I felt like I was not enough, that I couldn't give you enough. And what is the point of being there under those circumstances? It was a mistake. By the way, I am George of the Merce George channel. On the Merce George channel, you're going to see me flying paramotors and riding electric unicycles. But my videos are not about flying paramotors and riding electric unicycles. Those are just things I like to do. The videos are about life and love and relationships and emotion and feelings. And if you think that talking about your feelings makes you weak, you are so very wrong. It does not. Talking about your feelings makes you human. And I want to be human with you. I'm living my best life right now. and I'm trying to see the goodness in everything around me. Hey, because of the way I started out in life, fathering a child I couldn't take care of at the age of 19, it surprises me even now at 55 when I think to myself, I'm really glad to be a dad. I really love being a father. I mean, for all those years growing up in my early adult and even when in my 30s, I always thought to myself, I just felt ashamed of myself for what I did or didn't do for Matthew. But now at 55, I can honestly say I love being a dad. Am I the best dad? I'm probably not. I take that back. I said probably not. I'm definitely not the best dad. But am I a good dad? Yeah, I am. Am I an outstanding dad? Yeah, I'd say I'm an outstanding dad. Why? Mostly because I love the shit out of my kids. I am there for my kids. I do for my kids. Well, what does that mean, you do for your kids? Does that mean that you bought them a new car when they turned 16 and got their driver's license? No, I most certainly did not. But I helped them get a beater, and I taught them how to drive, and I took them to the Texas Department of Licensing so that they could get their driver's license or learner's permit. I, spent Sunday mornings in the stadium parking lot making sure they knew how to operate the car. When the car broke down, I helped them fix it. I taught them how to use the tools. I ran them up to the auto parts store. I was there. I was present. I'm still there. I'm still present. And I will be till the day that I die. And you know what that amounts to? That is happiness. That is the definition of happiness. Moments, presence. Whew, the emotion. I have always been emotional. Oh my God, that's ridiculous. Anyway, and you might be surprised because the way that I walk around, like I'm 220 pounds. I am 6'2" and shrinking. I used to be 6'3". I think I'm 6'2" now. I'm shrinking. But I tend to give off a presence that, I'm some big, tough guy. But although I might be big, and I really don't consider myself that tough, I'm definitely not a fighter, but I do have emotion. I have so much emotion in me. It's ridiculous. I just rarely show it. And that is something that I'll be discussing with my therapist very soon. No, I don't have a therapist. But I was having a conversation with my ex-wife just the other day, as we are civil, as I've said, and she thought that it would be a good idea if I did get some therapy. And what more, she thought it would be a good idea if I shared these therapy sessions and lessons on my YouTube channel. So, more of that to come, folks. I have always been a work in progress. And until the day that I die, I will be a work in progress. And you know what? You probably are too. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. And that's normal. And that's good that you're a work in progress. That says that, hey, you don't have it all figured out. You're not saying that you do, but you understand that you need to learn more. And you're trying. And that's all anybody could ask, is to try and better yourself a little bit every day. So can I talk more about finding happiness in the journey? Finding happiness in the journey. Finding happiness in everything that we do. In a trip to the convenience store. In the look on the clerk's face. In the greeting that you give her. You know, does she look stressed out? Does she look tired? How about if you try to be extra nice to her and you make her smile or laugh or giggle? Maybe you can find happiness in that. Maybe you can find happiness in having the skill to jump a curb like that on a electric unicycle. Not everybody can do that. And I'm happy about that. And I'm laughing about it. Am I a bit of a weirdo? Perhaps, but I think maybe we all are a little bit in our own way. And actually, I think that's what makes the world great. That it's full of weirdos. You know, we have so much stress and turmoil and conflict in the world right now. This is 2026. I live in the United States, and it seems like we're all a little bit at odds with one another because we seem to have different takes on the world and immigration and our economy and education and healthcare and pretty much everything, you know. Nobody is of the same opinion on pretty much anything. And maybe that's okay, as long as we don't fight about it too drastically. I mean, let's have a conversation about it. Let's come to some kind of agreement about it, but let's not kill each other over it, I think, you know? So how else can we find happiness in life, in the journey of life? Here's one that I share with my kids all the time. Get out of your comfort zone. We all have this tendency to want to just stay where we're comfortable. And I think it's pretty natural to want to do that, but I also think that it limits us, because it is the struggle when we actually learn valuable life lessons. The struggle, you know? And what makes us struggle? Doing things that we're not used to, doing new things, doing things that perhaps make us uncomfortable. I tell you, of all the jobs I have ever done in my life, you know, nursing has been the biggest struggle. And that is, you know, it put me in front of sick and dying people and the family of these sick and dying people. And I tell you, in the beginning, I was scared and I was uncomfortable and I was nervous. Well, I got through it. I never hurt anybody. And today I would consider myself a good nurse. All that time and experience as a new nurse in the ICU, it is really makes my job as a dialysis nurse way more comfortable, way more easy to do for me because I have ICU experience. So anyway, thankful for the ride, the journey, the experience, the time, the lessons, even thankful for the mistakes. And I keep saying thankful. Does that equate to happiness? I think it does. If I'm happy about something, you can you can bet, you can be pretty sure that I'm going to be thankful for it, If I'm thankful for something, for someone, I'm happy for this someone, this something. Anyway, man, I have got some editing to do because I have been rambling for the better part of an hour. I hope that you take some good stuff away from this message about happiness. I feel like we were sold a lame bill of goods by modern society and by the media and even by our educators, perhaps, our government, perhaps. As for you, earthlings, I'm thankful for your time and attention. If you've stayed with me this long, I look forward to the comments that I might receive, and I'm thankful for you taking the time to make these comments. All right, folks, you know that I can get emotional. What better time than right now to introduce perhaps another video that you might find interesting, or if not, at least amusing. And that is a video of myself discussing emotions. And I think the title of it goes something like, emotions, do you control yours or do they control you? And it's an interesting take on our emotions. Emotions are something that we can never get away from. We can't escape. And they are so powerful because they control our ability to be happy. You see how everything's kind of tied together? What a beautiful life. What a beautiful world. Thank you, people. Until next time, Merch George out. Bye.